Everybody, and welcome to the end of September edition of the Cover 4 podcast as Randy Gibson and I talk about everything that's going on. Well, the first thing is another coaching firing, and unfortunately, I was there to see it. I was at the Arkansas Notre Dame game Saturday working for ESPN, and you knew at halftime that something was going to happen, and sure enough, it did about 12 o'clock on Sunday afternoon that Sam Pitman was going to be relieved of his duties as the head coach of the Razorbacks. Uh, Bobby Petrino, some people are happy over there that he's back in charge. I'm not one of them, but he is the interim head coach. He will be on the sideline. They've named a new offensive coordinator, which was one of the guys that was up in the booth with Petrino. So he'll be calling the shots as far as relaying it down to Bobby. He's going to be on the field. But it's hard because Sam's a great guy, but you knew something was going to happen uh, at halftime when it was 28-14 with about 2 minutes to go in the half. Notre Dame scored. Arkansas fumbled. Notre Dame got it, and they knocked it in right before half and just knocked the wind out of everybody's sails. Probably half the stadium was gone. They had 75,111 at Razorback Stadium Saturday, and probably half of them were left at halftime.
It was just a bad day. You could tell. I was watching bits and pieces of it from down here in Florida. You just knew it was going to be a rough day for Arkansas. Um, I hate to see coaches have to leave in the middle of the season. I hate it for the players. I hate it for the fans. I hate it for the coaching staff. Um, I don't know, Jim. It's just a trend that's become more and more common. This is two of our big four in the last
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
I it's just not a trend I personally like. I don't know. I think it just disrupts the entire season. There's just no continuity, no flow, and here we are approaching the halfway mark, and
Yeah.
it's like you're starting all over back in spring again.
Yeah. And Bobby fired three defensive coaches, including the defensive coordinator.
Hmm.
That was the first thing he did. That's probably what they should have done anyway and kept Sam, let him go the rest of the season. But uh, the boosters and the otherwise, the people who give the money to the athletic department, they uh, they came up with the money to get rid of Sam. They did. They would have owed him 75% of uh, his remaining contract. That was the way the contract was written up. Uh, Sam and Hunter talked and agreed to 62.5% of it. So it saved Arkansas right at $1.5 million. They would have waited 2 more weeks if they'd had two more losses, which that would have been Tennessee and A&M. Uh, they would have only owed him half of.
Which you would assume there would have been losses at the
Yeah,
rate things are going.
yeah. Well, you got to play at Tennessee not this week or next, but it'll be next week. Then A&M comes in. They've got three games at home. They've got A&M, then Auburn, then Mississippi State, and they could win those two of the three. Uh, I don't see them beating Tennessee. I think it could be a beat down just like it was Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then A&M, I don't think will be as bad, but A&M's playing really good right now.
They're playing really good right now. I was going to say, I honestly, I don't look for that to be a win. I didn't before, and
Mm-mm.
I don't think it will be now.
No. Uh, 2 wins, and that's all I see because after the open date with Mississippi State, then you've got to go to Baton Rouge, you've got to go to Texas, and then you finish with Mizzou at home. So I think I'm leaving somebody out, but let me go to the schedule right quick. But right now they're 2-3. They've got, like I say, Tennessee on the road, A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State at home. Go to LSU, go to Texas, and Mizzou. So yeah, that's the remaining schedule, and you've got 4 games at home, and one of them's against the end game is against your rival, against Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So 4-8, uh, realistic. Uh, I'm in the camp of Mike Irwin. Mike is a sportscaster over there in Arkansas. Works for KNWA. That's the Fox station in Fayetteville, and have a thing called Pig Trail Nation. And he said this Sunday that whomever makes the decision, it can't be Hunter Yurachek. Uh,
Yeah,
here's
we kind of
here's the
talked about
reason.
that. Yeah.
Here's the reason why I say this is Yurachek got pulled on the carpet Friday at the Board of Trustees meeting about what he said 2 weeks ago at the Little Rock Touchdown Club about football not being competitive, and meaning the NIL, you know the money coming in was not there. And if you're the main fundraiser, why can't you draw the money? Also, the other thing is uh, the name on the stadium, Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. That's been up there for well over a year after the naming rights has expired. That's number one. Number two, the Reynolds Foundation is no more. It dissolved several years ago. They have called on Learfield, which is the company that has the media rights for the broadcast of the ball games
Mm-hmm.
from due until 29. Uh, they've called them in to try to find somebody for the naming rights to Razorback Stadium. So
Hmm.
you wonder, if Juracek himself cannot get uh, people, talking about companies to fork over essentially probably $5 to $10 million a year for naming rights for the stadium
Yeah.
long term, then maybe they need to be looking for somebody else to run the ship. And I've got somebody in mind, Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, who have a call in show from 6 to 9 that you can see on YouTube, and they're broadcast statewide in Arkansas. Uh, there's a guy that both of them know and I know of that could go back over to the Broyles complex and run the ship because he knows that department very, very well. And he is past president of what is now known as the College Sports Communicators, formerly the College Sports Information Directors of America. And he was their president last year. And that's Kevin Trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not be surprised if the Board of Trustees do Yurachek like they did Jeff Long several years ago and give him his marching orders. I would not be surprised they ask Kevin to come back across the street and become not only the interim director, but possibly the guy to run the athletic department. And if he would come back over there to the Broyles complex, I can tell you right now, there'll be a whole heck of a lot of people that would be very, very happy to see him back over there.
That'd be good. They're going to have to get some continuity going. That's for sure.
That's very true. I think they're safe with all the other sports, but let's face it, uh, football stirs the drink.
It
You know
does.
that as well as I do.
Of course it does. And those schools, most schools, and especially ones like Arkansas and the four that we talk about the most,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
for sure.
Well,
For
it's going
sure.
to be a wait and see uh,
Yeah.
here in the next 2 to 4 weeks. Uh,
Yeah.
he, Yurchek had a press conference. I was watching it with, put it over there on Pig Trail Nation, and there was the Ask Mike segment on there. Irwin, they was told that uh, they're going to get a firm to look for the head coach. Supposedly, the coach down at SMU is the main target of all the boosters. And one key booster that could open up the pocketbook is the owner of the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry
Well,
Jones.
he's got those ties over there.
He played there.
Yep, he did. He's
He
strong.
played with him. Him and Jimmy Johnson played together. And who was
Mm-hmm.
one of their coaches? Barry Switzer.
Barry
So
Switzer.
uh,
Yep.
there's a lot of people would like to get him. Uh, you're talking probably 10 million to get him to Arkansas. Then you're
Mm-hmm.
talking probably $1 million coordinators.
Probably.
So, uh, do they want to fork that out? You know, it's like Mike said, uh, as far as the coaches, I mean, it's all over the map. I mean, it's Lashley, it's Dion, Coach O. Uh,
Yeah.
there, I'll give you another one. Uh, a young coach, just like Lashley, would be G.J. Kinney, who
Mm-hmm.
used to quarterback at Tulsa, who's now the head coach down at Texas State, formerly known as Southwest Texas. And he's turned that program around. And does he stay in San Marcos and go? They're going to the new Pac-12 next year. They're going to get out of Conference USA, go to the new Pac-12, or do you jump at the chance to run an SEC program?
That's kind of a big thing too. You would always want to make the jump, but you would have to have some time to get into the SEC culture. Even somebody like we face, Oklahoma, we've kind of faced that,
Yeah,
trying to get into the whole SEC way. And, you and other friends of mine who are fans and alumni of SEC schools, whenever we made that change, you told me lead it up to the move, Oklahoma's going to be on a learning curve, and that's going to be that way for anybody.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's going to be the big question right now is, what's going
Mm-hmm.
to happen over there, and it's going to be interesting to see what does transpire. Um,
Yeah, because
but
that would be kind of not only is he jumping to a more higher level school, it's an SEC school to boot,
mhm,
and so that's a double whammy as far as I can tell
right,
for somebody like him. Now, somebody like Coach O, who's coached in the SEC before, it'd just be a new culture of this new school, but I don't know, it's different,
well,
a lot different.
let's put it in. You talk about Coach O. Okay, there's a guy who coached in the NFL, but has never coached in college, and that's Gruden. And
Yeah,
and he has said if he would go into college coaching, and he would love Arkansas. He loves the Arkansas culture over there. He would bring Ed Ogeron in as the offensive coordinator. And that would be very interesting, number one. Gruden would handle the quarterbacks. I mean,
yeah,
with quarterback school that he does, uh, every quarterback would learn something. Uh, Ogeron would be the line coach and the offensive coordinator. Uh, he's got to have somebody uh, with the running backs and the receivers. Then also you got to find a D coordinator that's worth his salt, and that's been their problem for the last 2 3 years.
it has.
They're a lot uh, like OU. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Back end is suspect, and that's putting it mildly. The problem was Saturday was, I mean, the seven techniques, the ends did not contain. They missed tackles. Uh, I think we counted, Ken and I, the guy who was the talent stat guy for uh, Dave Pash, who was broadcasting the ball game. Uh, there was like 9 chunk plays in the first half, meaning 20 yards or more passing and 15 yards or more rushing. And I haven't even pulled up the play by play to just see how many plays were 15 plus yards. I mean, Notre Dame had over 600 yards total offense for the game. They weren't the only ones that had over 600. We'll talk about that in a sec. But uh, at least they've got the week off to kind of get things halfway in order before they got to make that trek to Knoxville next week and take on Big Orange.
Yeah, that's not going to be fun for him.
No, no.
But,
Well,
oh, speaking of Big Orange,
yeah,
another coaching casualty from our friends at Stillwater
yeah. Ty Grantham
Packers.
got
Yeah,
the axe
sure did.
after their poor defensive performance against Baylor. The only good
Yep.
thing was for the Cowboys was at least they covered the spread.
Yeah, I mean, I Graham. I mean, he had just started. I mean, he was 4 games into his OSU
Yeah.
tenure as
Mm-hmm.
defensive coordinator.
And
Gave up 612 total yards in
against
that
a
six.
Baylor ball club that's uh, not the best in the world, but they they do know how to put points on the board and put yardage up on the stat sheet.
Yeah,
So now you go in with a different defensive coordinator, and you got to make a trek to Tucson to take
Yep.
on the Wildcats.
Yep. And you've got players, of course, already hitting the portal.
Yeah.
They've
Uh,
lost they've lost three to the portal already. I didn't know if you'd seen that on the list as
I
of
hadn't
today.
seen that one yet, but Arkansas hadn't had anybody yet.
Oklahoma
Uh,
State's got the long snapper of Freebomb, and then Dylan Smith and DeAndre Boykins, both safeties, in the portal already. But what's really going to hurt them for the Cowboys? They've had a lot of decommits of recruits
mm-hmm. And Arkansas's done
already. Yeah,
a
quarterback.
couple already too.
Yeah, I'm looking up here. A couple of them, I see quarterback, running back, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, linebacker, and two defensive backs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, one of them was the number 5 player in the state of Oklahoma,
Yeah.
one of the defensive players. So,
They'll open it up, but then they may look at it again, when they do hire whoever the new coach is. And that's
yeah,
at both places. So uh, Arizona is a 20.5 point favorite over the Cowboys. That game will be, let's see, it is, grab my phone, uh, 2 o'clock. It'll be on TNT on Saturday. Then OU's got Kent State,
yep,
45.5 point favorite.
yep,
Uh, 3 o'clock on the SEC network. And
yeah. Be wearing the throwback uniforms, the
yeah,
Bud Wilkinson
throwback
era,
uniforms and the throwback helmets.
and the throwback helmets as well.
And
Yep,
white with the red stripe. No OU.
yep. Uh, Mike Hawkins, backup quarterback, will be the starter, while starter John Mateers recovering from the hand surgery he had.
He hit his hand on a defender when he
Mm-hmm.
uh I couldn't tell if he hit his arm or if he hit his helmet. I'm assuming he hit his helmet.
I think it was the helmet, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm. So
And he had we didn't even know this until way after the game. He was playing not only with that injured hand with the thumb, he had a sprained ankle as well during that Auburn game.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and chances of him playing against Texas next week,
It's
I think
not.
probably I would say doubtful
I
would
would
be.
say doubtful. You've got some people in Norman who are hopeful, but Venables told him to let his injury heal, and he's not going to defy the odds. That was a
Right.
quote from Venables.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, you
be a
know,
breather for OU this week.
yeah, it'll be good because it'll give Hawkins. Now Hawkins has played. He played some games last year. I mean, he was the one that came in and played against Auburn when Jackson Arnold was hurt last
Mm-hmm.
year.
Yep.
And pulled out the win down
Down there.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll get him a chance to kind of get back in the flow against Kent State. They shouldn't, you never say never, but shouldn't have too much trouble
No.
uh, against Kent State. But then got some big shoes to fill following week when they head to Dallas in the Cotton Bowl.
Yep. Have you seen that message that I sent to
I
you?
I have not had a chance to look at it yet. It looked like it was something about, was it the Cotton Bowl updates, or
Yes. Yeah, it's from.
I wanted to watch it. I'm still down here, and for those listeners, I'm down here in Florida still for another few days, and I haven't gotten to do a lot of time on the computers
Well, it's
looking at stuff.
from the ABC affiliate, WFAA, and
Mm-hmm.
that will show you what they have done down there. It is kind of similar to what the update they did at Neyland Stadium
Oh, good.
in uh, in Knoxville.
I know
Uh,
we'll be talking a lot about that next week.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Uh, Other ball game this week. University of Tulsa goes down to Memphis, take on the Tigers, who are 5-0. Memphis, 20 and a half point favorite against the Golden Hurricane. Uh, Tulsa lost to Navy Saturday. Uh, but I think they're improving. That's the big thing. Uh,
Hmm.
and they'll I think they'll see a couple of more wins at least, maybe more. But this one will be a tough one going down to Memphis because
Yeah,
Memphis
will.
uh, they got some guys with some speed. They can throw the ball, uh, which also can do some things as well. So it'd be interesting to see. They are that's an ESPN U ball game, so that's and it's a night game down there, 7 o'clock Saturday night in Memphis. So that's the Big Four Northeastern.
Yeah, they had another rough afternoon.
Northeastern.
Yeah.
Uh, no, they didn't. They had Idle this last week.
Oh, they had Idle.
Yeah,
Well, that's not. Oh, I'm looking at the week before.
yeah. Week before they won big the week before against Westgate Christian, but now things get a little interesting because they take on West Florida Saturday at
Yeah.
1 up at Gable Field, and West Florida is a pretty good ball club coming out of the Gulf South, and they will they'll give NSU a tussle come Saturday. Be kind of interesting to see how they do. They're currently 2-2 on the season, so
Hmm.
that's uh, that's a good thing. Redmond try to go to 3-2, but like I say, tough opponent coming coming into town on Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, high school football, Tahlequah. I don't know how many times we play Claremore and they pull one out. They score in the third. We can't get the ball in the end zone in the fourth, get beat 21-17 in the
Oh,
opener. Now, I've been around here for a while, been sports editor of the paper. I don't think Tahlequah has beaten Claremore 10 times in the history of the series. This is one school that has Tahlequah's number.
it sure does. I mean, it seems like every year, you think, well, it's going to be a good game, but could be Tahlequah's year. I've seen that over and over while my kids were in school too. And man, it's just they can't get over the zebras, like you said. They just have the Tigers number.
Mm-hmm. Now they got to go to Pryor Friday night.
Mm,
And let's see, they got to go up there. And I think I've heard that Pryor's got a new field
really?
from what I heard. I don't know if they're still playing at the old field over there close to Pryor Lumber, but I heard that Google gave them money to build a new football field by the new high school. But I didn't drive that way toward the high school. I know they've got a brand new gym that's really nice because Sequoia played there in an area several years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But supposedly Google gave prior public schools money enough to build a new field. Now, don't hold me to that. And I haven't talked to Matt to find out if that's true or not. So we'll just have to wait and see. But this one now becomes a must win because next week's another ball club that has our number, Collinsville, and it's here.
Collinsville too. Yep. Collinsville has it too.
Then you go to Memorial. That should be a win. That's on a Thursday night because that's teachers meeting week or fall break.
Mm-hmm.
Dell City's pretty good this year. Then that's the last home game is against Dell City. Then you got to go play 2 games at Rogers. You play Tulsa Will Rogers and then Tulsa Hale, both at the new field there at Rogers, at on 8th Street, just north of Skelly Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
So the other 3 teams, well, Sequoia beat Chandler 24-14 out at Thompson Field. They are now 4-0 on the season, and they go to Dewey to take on the Bulldoggers Friday night, then come back home on the 10th and take on Tulsa Central. So there's a chance Sequoia could be looking at playing that second Friday night in November and possibly at home.
That would be great.
Mm-hmm.
That would be great. How long has it been? Did they? I can't remember. How many years has it
He
been?
did not make the playoffs. No, I'll take that back. They got to the playoffs last year. Got beat by Kiefer at Kiefer. So, but that was the first time in about since before COVID.
I say, it seemed like it had been a while.
Yeah, I think before COVID, like 2019, 2018, because we went down after uh, Bear got let go. Uh, Shane got us to the playoffs a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, things went downhill because we didn't play in 2020.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
was
I did. Sure
that
did.
that call was made by somebody other than the administration,
Mm-hmm.
and we know who that is.
Yeah.
Keys got a victory, beat the Kansas Comets 42-21 at home. They got a rough one this week. They got to go to Colcord, and
Oh,
that's not easy.
no.
And then they get Salina at home in a couple of weeks. So they've got chances of maybe uh, getting a playoff spot, but that remains to be seen. The other high school, well, that is Hulbert. They got beat 47-14 by Hartshorn uh, last Friday night. So they're currently 2-2 on the field, 3-2 in the record book, thanks to the forfeit by Caney Valley. They will go to Panama Friday night, take on the Razorbacks. Then they get Picola at home on the 10th before they get a week off. Uh, their district is a 7-team district. So they got to for sure get 4 wins to possibly get a playoff berth.
Mm-hmm.
But But the one thing is they are playing better than they did last year, which is
That's
good.
good. That is good. That's
They
good.
tried to get into that thing with T-Mobile like Inola did last year,
Mm-hmm.
but did not get into the final 25. In fact, no one from Oklahoma made the top 25 this year. And there's one school over in Arkansas that got in there. So they'll get a little something for at least getting in the top 25. In fact, that school in Arkansas, I think they were third or fourth uh, when I looked at it earlier in the week. So they've got to vote till I think a couple of weeks, and then they'll determine what school gets that $1 million prize and gets to have their field redone, new digital scoreboard, uh, other improvements. Gronk will throw in uh, weight equipment and a new weight room. So it's a big thing.
It is.
And hats off to T-Mobile for doing that.
Absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
have I have not driven up to Inola yet to see how that field looks now with the improvements, but it's got to be really nice because they needed they had turf, but they needed it replaced, and T-Mobile came to the rescue on that one.
Good.
Well, that's going to about do it for this week's edition of the Cover Four podcast. And next week, well, I know what we're going to be talking about next
We're going to be
week.
talking a lot about the Red River rivalry.
Yeah,
Yep.
and unfortunately, you will not be there.
I will not be in attendance. I don't, honestly, I'm not sure I'll ever get to go back to another one the way things just seem to work out. But
Because the next week is that homecoming?
25th against Ole Miss,
Okay.
I believe I think we go to South Carolina after Texas,
Ooh,
which is, again, it's that grind of the SEC. I mean, we've got
yeah.
Texas, then we go to South Carolina, and then come home to face Ole Miss. So we knew the second part of this season. I mean, we're starting out good, 4-0, and
but but
after
now
Kent State, we'll be 5-0. But I
now the
assume,
reality,
but
the
ooh,
reality of
the reality is going to hit
the yeah
October
uh,
the 11th. The reality is going to hit.
mm-hmm, uh, and the reality of going into Williams Bryce and hearing Sandstorm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. It's we Oklahoma's kind of had that. They've started out, the season good, and everybody gets excited. And then we get into the grind of the SEC season, and
yep.
it's
Uh,
hard. It's hard for all of us, you know.
yes, and think about this: is that instead of being in Florida, uh, would you like to have been in Knoxville this weekend and
Yes,
seen the Pride of the Southland?
yes, I sure would have.
Uh, that would be to see them march in
Yeah,
on the street,
yeah,
much less inside of Neyland Stadium with 102,000. So,
yeah, for
yep,
sure, for
that's for
sure.
sure. Well, we will talk next week about the Red River rivalry, talk a little bit about Randy and his exploits
Huh.
in the Pride of Oklahoma band,
Yep,
what he and talk about what he is famous for. We'll
absolutely. You
speak.
bet. We will share some of those Texas stories from the band side.
Yep. And we'll do it
Always fun.
next week on the Cover 4 podcast. See you next week, everybody.